have this new exercise where we got a from string which represents a date, and then we have to find out the date that's 10 to the power of 9 seconds later. So in this case, if we say 2011 something, we end up on 2043, January 1st. So my idea was like to define a class with a description that we're gonna update when initializing the class. Here we're taking in the from string, and I wanted to transform the string to a date so we can manipulate way more easily. And we found on the web that we can use the ISO 8601 date formatter. Let's continue from here. I initialized the date formatter, and now we can probably parse the thing. So this modifies and this creates a new date. So I'm 100% for this. I'm 100% for avoiding changing variables. Values. So let's define a new time interval. So we want a time interval. No, that's not the... Can we go like, alright, so it's gonna be 1, so it's 10, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Can we add like the asked time interval like this? Control Command E renames, why not? And we wanted to rename it, so parsed date. Parsed date. Doesn't this return an optional too? Yes, this returns an optional. Oh, but this extracts it. Alright, so for the time being, let's extract it like this too. So we do have it gigasecond. And now, alright. To string. Do we have something like that? No. String. Stringify. Make new. Alright. So now we have a date and we want to transform it to a string. Maybe the formatter. Date formatter. String. Updated time interval. And here we update the description. We remove this. I think this column completely lost its mind. Let's see if I can close. Let's build again. Let's see what happens. So the build succeeded, which is great. This also gives me a string. This gives me a date. This is pretty. That's the only thing I gotta say. Alright, so now the question still doesn't work because cannot use optional chaining on non-optional value. So now that we have this, I'm guessing we need to make this failable, and we shouldn't extract this. So, alright, so what is a failable initializer? Alright, if we have this, then we use it here. Now we can do the same thing here. Yeah, we don't need this. If let gigasecond equals initialize this. Then we can have access to both and do our thing here. Still have no idea how to. Right. Nil is the only return value permitted in an initializer. Oh, nice. So whatever happens here, we return nil, right? And that's it. Now, this seems to work. Yes, I definitely agree it wasn't used. So now we have a date formatter. But we don't need to create it every time, right? So we can put it like this way. Also, can I private this? I feel like this is public and now this is private. So now we have a date formatter always available. Initialized only once when we initialize the thing. So we have an optional initializer. That's something we learned. We learned to import foundation. We learned once again how to chain optionals and how to access them. Parsing the date, adding an exact gigasecond. I mean, since the only thing it can do is add a gigasecond, so I'm fine with putting the value hard-coded here. And then we update the description so you can access from the external thing. Alright, so now that we have that, let's see if the tests pass. Build succeeded. Testing. And they definitely do not pass. I'm sorry, ISO 8601. We're gonna replace you. Wait, can we? Oh, so this can be changed, but the variables inside it can. So it does find the locale. We're gonna have only hour, minutes, and seconds. Alright, so the quick way to do this would be like to do it right here. Date formatter. And then we just change it here. Set it up once and for all, and then and now the test pass. Yes, let's see if we can do this right. So here we have a formatter, the date formatter. Probably can put it private. Now this is the first change I quite like, so we define it only once outside of the initializer. Alright, and then the thing that it did is that it didn't have two optionals, you only had one. So that's what we did. So we parsed the date, but then it created a new date from the interval to adding an interval since the date. Create a date value initialized relative to another given date by a given number of seconds. Alright, so we didn't stumble on this, but it's nice to know that we can create a date from a given date, another date from a given date given a time interval. So it's nice. That's nice. Definitely agree. Does it still work? And yes, still works. Thank you very much for watching, and that's it. I'm gonna end this stream now. See you in the next one. Bye guys.